Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of College Ball J Dog. Life's been beating the shit out of me. I'm still here. Got car problems. Got this. Got that. Y'all know how life is. I apologize. I missed yesterday's episode. But I'm here today. We're going to talk about the college football playoff. Did the committee get it right? Tennessee, Josh Heupel. Shit can Tim Banks. Was that the right decision? If you're a fan of the channel, you know my thoughts on that. We're going to talk about it. Last but not least, Notre Dame skipping out on the bowl game. Not happy with the ACC. We'll talk about that. Y'all do me a favor before we get into it. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you don't do nothing else, subscribe to the channel. Get in that comment section. I always try to comment back to y'all. Let's get into it. Let's start with the playoffs. Do you think the College Football Playoff Committee got it right? Number 12, you got James Madison. They're taking on number 5, Oregon. Number 11, Tulane taking on number 6, Ole Miss. Number 9, Alabama. That was a controversial one, y'all. Taking on number 8, Oklahoma. Number 10, Miami at number 7, A&M. And your buys are number 4, Texas Tech. Number 3, Georgia. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 1, Indiana. Let's talk about it, y'all. The biggest issue most people had was with Miami jumping Notre Dame. I understand the logic. How do you have Notre Dame ahead of Miami for 5 weeks? And then the week that neither one of them plays, you decide to jump Miami over Notre Dame. They said they didn't even think about head-to-head until BYU lost to Texas Tech. My theory is, and I've not heard many people talk about this, my theory is where Duke beat Virginia in the ACC title game, they didn't want the ACC to be left out altogether. So they pulled a quick one, put Miami in over Notre Dame. That's truly what I think happened. Does head-to-head matter? Yes, it should matter. But how does it not matter for 5 straight weeks? And then after 5 weeks, you're like, well, you know what? Head-to-head should probably matter, y'all. I think Miami should have been in over Notre Dame. I think it's crazy the way the committee done it. But I do think Miami should have been in over Notre Dame because since the playoffs started, they've always screamed head-to-head matters. Well, Miami beat Notre Dame. So I do think they should have got in, but I think that's the committee saving face and putting an ACC team in. But let's talk about how broken the system is, y'all. The system is broken. You end up with 2 group of 5 teams in the playoffs over a 10-2 Notre Dame, over a 10-2 Vandy, over a 9-3 Texas. What are we doing? It was all cute and fun when you let one group of 5 team in, just so they felt like they really was included and that they had a real shot, even though everybody knows no group of 5 team will ever win a national title. It was cute when you let one in and take one of the spots. When we're getting to the point that 2 are starting to get in, the system's flawed. Let's be honest about it. The system is flawed. Are they going to 16 teams next year? Are they staying at 12? What are they going to do with the group of 5? I'm with Josh Pate on this. I think the group of five is missing out on a really good opportunity to have their own playoffs, to get their own revenue money from a playoff, decide your own champion. Because they know just as well as anybody else does, they're never going to win a national title. So if they had their own playoffs, played against each other, they could have their own national champ, G5 national champ. Because all they're doing right now is getting in over teams that deserve to get in to take an ass whooping. Could they keep one of these games close? Sure. These spreads are like 17 and 21 in the games that they're in. Oregon's favored by 21. Ole Miss favored by 17 against James Madison and Tulane, respectively. And I picked Tulane to be in the playoff when the season started. That was my group of five team. There's no way in hell that two group of five teams should be in. The other problem everybody had was Alabama being left in. I get it. They got destroyed by Georgia, 28-7. Got beat basically just as bad as BYU did by Texas Tech. But here's the thing. BYU wasn't in. Bama was. If you start punishing teams for losing conference championship games, then there's no reason to play them. I hate Bama. I wish Bama wouldn't have got in. But I can't argue with the committee that they shouldn't have got in. Because they should have. You cannot punish a team for having to play an extra game than everybody else. They did the same thing last year with SMU. SMU got beat by Clemson. They left them in. That left Alabama out last year. Alabama whined and pouted, and now this year they're screaming, well, that's what you're supposed to do because they're benefiting from it. But I do agree, if you're already in the playoff and you lose your conference title game, it should not knock you out. It shouldn't. They barely punished Ohio State for losing to Indiana. I'm kind of thinking Ohio State might have tried to lose that game on purpose. I'm not saying they did. You're inside the 10-yard line twice and don't get a damn point. Ohio State always has that one game where it's just like, what in the hell is Ryan Day doing? He has one game a year. It's been Michigan the last few years. This year is Indiana. Like, what are you doing as a coach? Ohio State really and honestly should have won that game by 2 scores. And they lost because Ryan Day had a terrible game coaching. I mean, let's call it what it is. Hats off to Indiana. Hats off to Coach Signetti. I didn't think you had a chance in that game. You went. You pulled the upset off. We're going to see what you're really made of here. Do y'all think Ohio State got the better end of the deal, though? Do you think whose game do you think is harder? You think Indiana's game will be harder? They play the winner of Alabama, Oklahoma. Ohio State now plays the winner of Texas A&M, Miami. Which one would you rather play? I think Ohio State got the better draw. A&M's coming off of a loss. They got exposed a little bit. Then you got Miami, who really nobody even thought was going to get in. Now they're playing with house money because nobody even thought they'd be included. They're in now. They do have a good win. They do have a good win against Notre Dame. They got 2 bad losses. Which Carson Beck are you going to get? You get 3 or 4 interception Carson Beck, they don't have a chance. One thing I know about Oklahoma is Oklahoma's probably not going to score more than 20 points in a game. But can you score more than 20? Indiana and Oklahoma would be a very intriguing matchup, y'all. That's 2 really good defenses. That game could end up 10-7 if you get that matchup. It could really end 10-7. What's your most intriguing matchup of the first round? It's got to be Miami, Texas A&M, or Oklahoma, Alabama. The other two are garbage. Oregon and James Madison, blowout. Ole Miss, Tulane, blowout. I don't know. I don't like it. Tomorrow, I'll pick my winner of the playoffs. Might surprise you a little bit. Let's keep it moving, though, y'all. Let's keep it moving. We had some breaking news yesterday. Josh Heupel finally mans up, fires Tim Banks. I said after the Vandy game, I love Josh Heupel. I think he's the man for the job. But the one thing he has got to do, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, he has got to quit playing the buddy system with his coaching staff. Philip Fulmer done it. Cost him his job. This is the first step I see to Heupel taking that step and saying, I've got to hire the best coach for the job. Because I want to win. Don't care if you're my buddy or not. I'm going to go get the best guy available. And we got some really good candidates they're talking about. I wish Tim Banks nothing but the best. It just didn't work out. Last year was the only good defense he's had here in 5 years. And honestly, that was kind of a fool's gold situation, you know. We didn't play any good offenses last year besides Georgia and Ohio State. And both of them scored over 30 and over 40 on us. The rest of the teams we played, we had them about 20 or less. It was a little fool's gold on defense. He was very good at building up sacks, but every time he's in a big game, especially on the road, he would not blitz. He only brought 4 guys, let the opposing team's quarterback sit back there and pick us apart because he'd have his cornerbacks playing 10, 15 yards off the ball. On 3rd and 7. It'd be like taking candy from a baby. Like I said, I wish Tim Banks all the best. I'm glad Heupel finally made the move. I really hope we end up with Walters from Washington. He's former Purdue coach. He was defensive coordinator at Illinois. He had Illinois as the number 1 defense in the country, scoring wise, and number 2 yardage wise. That could be flipped, but he had top 5 defense at Illinois. Right now at Washington, doing a hell of a job. He's one of the top defensive coordinators in the country. They also said Gerard Mayo is a name to watch out for. I'd love to have Gerard Mayo back in on. He's a good NFL defensive coordinator. Does he want to come deal with the college game, recruiting, all that? That's to be determined. But as of right now, I think that's probably the 2 top candidates, and I think we're really dead set on Walters, if I'm being honest with you. Trying to get the list pulled up here, y'all. Walters, Mayo, and there was one other guy. Trying to think of his name. I can't think of it right now. Anyway, if I had to guess, y'all, it'd be Walters that would get the job. And if he does get the job, that'd be a hell of a hire by Josh Heupel. Hell of a hire by Josh Heupel. I seen something the other day. I didn't fact check it, so if it's wrong, I apologize. But Brett Powell got fired by Virginia Tech. They hired James Franklin. And James Franklin hires him as his defensive coordinator. So he got fired from Virginia Tech, and now he's James Franklin's defensive coordinator. That's crazy stuff, y'all. They say Jim Knowles is a candidate from Penn State because they fired Franklin. I'd be very happy with Jim Knowles. He was Ohio State's defensive coordinator when they whooped us and went on to win a national title last year. He moved to Penn State this year. Be a great hire. Justin Wilcox is on the list. I don't think he'll come back. He didn't really enjoy his time in Knoxville last time. He's more of a West Coast guy. Ryan Walters is the guy I want, y'all. Just to be honest. Ryan Walters, Gerard Mayo, one of them two, and I'm happy. I'm not sure the coaching changes are done as far as our staff goes. I was just glad to see that first domino fall, y'all. Tim Banks has been fired. I said, best of luck to him. He's a candidate for one of the MAC jobs. I want to say it might have been Toledo. I hope he gets it. He seems like a good guy. He just not a fit right now. He's just not a fit. His defenses, he said he's going to be aggressive. He's going to do that. He's been everything but aggressive. Yes, we had injuries this year. We lost our top corners, all that. But the regression, there's still too much talent on our defense to drop to where we drop. Drop all the way down to the 90s in scoring defense. Unexcusable. Just unexcusable. Next up, y'all. Notre Dame is not happy with the way the committee done them. I kind of get it because they was in, nobody played a game, and then they get dropped out. They was minus 1,000 to make the playoffs in Vegas, y'all. Vegas thought they was a lock. Everybody thought they was a lock. Then the committee comes in with a little Houdini on us and flips them with Miami. Notre Dame's throwing a fit. They declined to play in a bowl game. They're saying the ACC betrayed them. Then there was like 72 hours straight on the ACC network that they played nothing but Miami beating Notre Dame. For, I guess, to try to get in the committee's head. Like, hey, look, Miami beat Notre Dame. And Notre Dame and the ACC are affiliated with each other. Notre Dame's an ACC basketball school. They're ACC baseball team. They're ACC everything besides football, but they have to play so many ACC teams a year in football to stay independent. Coach Jason Brown, Shannon Sharp, and Ocho. A lot of people said it. Join a conference. You want to make sure you're in the playoffs every year? Join a damn conference. Even Shane Gillis said it. Shane Gillis, biggest Notre Dame fan you'll find. You want a for-sure spot in the playoffs, join a conference, and go win your conference. I mean, your schedule is garbage every year. You play 2 or 3 teams, and then the rest is garbage. You want to have a better resume. You want the committee to respect you. You want all this. Join a conference. It's that simple. You'll get an automatic spot if you join a conference and win it. It's really that simple. Like, look at their schedule next year right here. This is their schedule next year. It's crazy. Look at this. Versus Wisconsin, Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, North Carolina, Navy, Miami. There's one hard game. First hard game in your 7-8 games in. Boston College. SMU. SMU decent. Syracuse, Stanford, USC. That whole schedule got 1 to 2 ranked teams on. Miami could be ranked. USC could be ranked. SMU possibly could be ranked. But besides that, you've got a cakewalk. All those other games are easily winnable for Notre Dame. Really, SMU, maybe SMU, their highs and lows, they do good, they do bad. They're coming up as a program. I'm not trying to disrespect SMU, but they're not on a Notre Dame, Miami, USC level. If you want respect, you want to be able to lose 2 games a year and make the playoffs, make your schedule harder. It's really that simple. I think you got done wrong Sunday. don't think it would have been, you should have been ranked where you was to begin with. If head-to-head matters, why did they have you ahead of Miami for 5 weeks? I get the frustration. I get why you're mad. But I'm pretty sure your players want to play a bowl game and you screw them out of that opportunity. Always you're mad you got left out of the playoffs. Vandy got left out. Texas got left out. They're still playing. There's a list of teams that declined bowl games. Let's talk about that, and then we'll get out of here, y'all, because Notre Dame ain't the only one. But a lot of these teams that declined them wasn't even supposed to be bowl eligible, y'all. You got Notre Dame, Kansas State, Iowa State, Baylor. I think all four of them were actually bowl eligible. Rutgers, Florida State, Auburn, Temple, UCF, Kansas. They all declined. Only four of those teams are actually bowl eligible by their record. The rest of them, it was kind of a consolation prize because the other teams turned it down. So, no, I don't blame the other teams turning them down, but Notre Dame turned it down. I think Kansas State turned down because their coach is retiring. I think they're bringing in Colin Klein back from Texas A&M. He's their offensive coordinator with Texas A&M. Now he's going back to Kansas State. There hasn't really been much other news, y'all. The recruiting slowed down. There is still some guys that are unsigned. You got the portal heating up. Sam Levitt's probably going in. You got a couple other guys. They're saying there's interest between Tennessee and Sam Levitt. We'll see. If there's anything else to cover, I'll try to make another video this evening. Get y'all a double hitter today. I gotta go work on my car, get one running. Started working on one car. The other car tore up while I'm working on the other one. That's life, baby. Gotta count your blessings even when you're down and out. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode. Let me know what y'all think about the playoffs. Did they get it right? If you're a Tennessee fan, are you glad Tim Banks got fired? Do you think he should have got another year? Also, do you think Notre Dame got screwed? Do you think they should play in a bowl game? Do you think they should join in a conference? If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. Get in that comment section. Let me know your views on this stuff. Leave a like on the video. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate y'all's patience with me. Life can kick your ass sometimes. You still got to thank God for everything you got. God bless y'all, and go Vols.